can we start? Because we don't have to, yeah.
It's being recorded.
Pardon?
And it's being
Okay,
recorded.
yeah.
Yes.
I want to remind everybody the meeting's being recorded tonight because Nikki's not here and they helped Jaylene with the minutes and stuff and that. As soon as she gets the minutes done, it will be destroyed, so. But that way everybody knows. It's just for her record keeping to help with the minutes, okay? So Sandy, you're up.
Okay. The draft EIS, the comments to Waterford were due yesterday at 4:30. So the state of Minnesota, DNR, Dakota County have all made comments, as well as I did personally as a planning commission member only. I don't represent the planning commission from Castle regarding their ordinances. Several sheets here I've written, along with a board member, or planning commission member, Bobby Nelson, from them, so that was there. But also, what they figure now is going to happen is now Waterford has to decide either to deny this permit or they will let Brine Rock go forward and they will write their CUP with conditions. The group is hoping that they will deny the permit. The first thing Brine Rock is going to do is they're going to sue Waterford Township. So this will be another delay, 3-4 years. It's been almost 3 years just getting the EIS done, the draft EIS. The final EIS has not even come back yet.
Okay.
So that will probably be the end of the year or something like that.
Okay. Nancy?
I just have a couple things. I know that you guys were trying to get the agenda on the, your website. Like, I'm just asking about that, where that's at.
Well, Sam is supposed to be here tonight. He's our website guy and that. We're looking at doing different things in that. And it didn't happen this week because Nikki went on vacation. The flight got canceled, so she's got back.
Okay, no problem.
So that's what happened there.
Okay, and I was gonna, is this Sam guy, is he gonna look at, like, maybe doing live streaming, or?
We're looking at all kinds of different things. He had to set up emails for 3 of these guys. We want the computers in there to talk to each other. There's how many things we requested. And he does have a quote in front of us tonight, but
About other things.
I'm not gonna go into that until he gets
Right,
there.
right. Okay, because I would be, if you're not looking at live streaming, I don't know if you are still interested in doing that, but
Well, it's gonna depend on how much all this stuff's gonna cost.
got it. So
You
you're
know?
gonna get a quote from him tonight about all that. Okay, because I was just gonna say if I would be willing to, like look into more stuff about live streaming if you need it. If that doesn't look like a good quote, I'm willing to like do any homework to try to find a way to make it reasonable.
Okay.
Because I just feel that having Castle Rock residents have, a chance to go online and watch this
Something would be better
is
than
very
that.
important, right, it's very
Yes.
important. Yeah, so, all right, that's it, thank you.
So, yeah, we'll address that later when he's here.
Okay, thanks.
Okay? Treasurer's report.
Current investments are $49,608.07. Payroll was $3,684.44. Checks wrote out were 11756 and 11757. Claimed is $62,288.23. Check numbers 11758 through 11759 to 11773. The total is $66,572.67.
Is there a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
Brian makes a motion.
Brian's made that motion.
Jerry Larson will second.
30 seconds. All in favor? Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Jaylene, you have an approval here of transferring savings to,
Checking to cover the bills. All the money goes into savings, and then in order to pay bills, I gotta move it from the savings
Right.
account into the checking.
but she should not have to have a motion from us to move it from savings to checking, right? she needs a motion if she's gonna take it out of the CD. You guys agree? Or do you wanna keep it this way?
Does it ever create a fine for you, Jenny,
For,
if you had to wait for a motion to do this, or do you just kind of plan far ahead to cover?
well, like for this, what I do is I put all the, the bills in, see what the total is, see what's in our checking, which I was always told not to keep any more than 10,000 into it. The rest is in our savings account. So then each month when we do claims, just get approval to pull that money out, put it into the savings to cover the bills. Is what I was under the understanding when I started.
Well, most places are 60 days anyhow from the time you submit a bill, if you're lucky. Some are 90 days.
Well, we're not these months.
So, kind of backing up a little bit, so current investment, is that CDs or is that savings?
This is all the CDs plus the savings account is what that totals as the investment. So I believe there's 6.
So it kind of comes across as all the CDs.
Well, it's not,
It
no.
just says investment.
Yeah.
But if we've got money cash in the savings, then she should be able to just hold
We'll
it.
move that to checking.
It would be if she's taken out of the CDs, that would be another.
That needs a motion, yes.
Right.
Yes. I mean, this way, we can leave it this way, I'm just asking a question.
I kind of like it this way so that you guys know,
Right.
hey, this is how much needs to go out on Wednesday.
Okay.
And do I get the approval to move from savings into the checking so that you guys are knowing where the money is going?
Okay,
I kind of like it this way.
okay. So is there a motion to approve moving to $60,000?
I'll make that motion.
Russ made the motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Pete seconds, all in favor? Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay. You are?
Grant.
Pardon?
Grant?
Grant?
Yeah, we're trying to build over on Richard's land there.
Oh, okay.
We thought it started at 7, I drove by to go pick up Richard, I'm like, there's cars there.
We've been there since 4:30, some of us been there since 4:30.
Well, Grant, first of all, we're not gonna spend a lot of time on it, because you need to go to the planning commission anyhow. I don't wanna be doing the planning commission's job, but we can give us our recommendation. I know you guys don't have this because you weren't on the planning commission, but I do. Well, I know, Pete, you wanted to see this. Here's the piece of property they're looking at doing. They want to build right there. This house here already takes everything from this for you. Different landowner here. Same landowner there, same landowner here. Section line is there. My opinion is buildable. If they do a lot transfer from there to up here.
Because that back 40 is still, it has not been built up.
This one, there's nothing there.
And it's not been transferred anywhere else.
But that has nothing to do with it. We went, damn, I forgot where it is. It says in there, in a cluster, you cannot have more than what it says. If there was a buildable by the road, you could do it. But if it wasn't here, then you can't when you're doing a cluster,
Okay.
you know? But right now, they would have to go to the planning commission. This is just my opinion. You guys gotta figure this out. My opinion is they gotta go to the planning commission, get a parcel split and a lot transfer. And they gotta show ownership before they can apply for building permit. You guys agree?
Makes
that's-
sense.
That's quarter section,
I
yeah.
believe that's the way to go in this reason.
So when's that planning commission on?
We're gonna vote on that tonight. They usually meet,
Last Monday.
talking to them, I said,
The fourth.
you guys.
The fourth.
Do you
Fourth.
have- do you have a computer?
Yeah.
Look on the website, all of the dates are listed on the website.
Not this one.
Not this one, Sam. We're, yeah, it's Memorial
The
Day.
18th is listed.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Okay, but we're also going to talk about that. We can do that now, since he's here. Since we're having 2 meetings a month. We thought it would be best to move that planning commission meeting up 1 week, so there's room to work in between. Rather than the fourth, you do it the third. You know, because this way you got 1 day to do something in between, and that's not enough.
I don't care what it's on planning.
Then we go to the third for the planning commission.
Yeah.
Yes. That way there's a week that people can do something. You know, so are we agreement we're gonna change that meeting time? The times are the same, but just the third week versus the fourth.
I have no problem with it.
So is there a motion to do so?
I'll make a motion to move the planning commission meetings to the third Monday of the month.
Motion's been made, is there a second?
Again, I don't know how the planning commission feels. I mean, it's, well, I don't see a problem. It makes more sense for us being meeting twice a month.
I've talked to 2 or 3 of them, they have no problem with it.
Can we ask the ones in?
Well, we got 2 of them here.
I have no problem with it.
I'm fine with it.
Then I'll,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead, Frank.
No.
I've made enough.
Consider.
All right, I'll second it. Thank you.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor. Please signify by saying aye.
Meeting 18.
Motion carries.
Back to that buildable, I think we should tell, I mean, the planning commission's gonna have to research, make sure nothing's been transferred out of there.
Right. Planning commission
That's not
got
our
research.
job to do all that. That's his job to make sure that he can build.
Okay,
He
'cause
needs
this-
to go to the county,
this
find out
map-
the
The
records.
county told me I have to go to you guys.
For what?
They told me that you guys are the ones that determine whether the billable's there or not. I've been back,
Yes, we do that. But what he was thinking, I think what Pete is thinking about is if there's anything recorded at the county as
Okay,
far as.
here's what I'm thinking. This map here says it's open, the map on the wall there says it's not.
Well, you know that some of these maps from the
Well,
county
we
are
know
not
that,
right.
yes.
Right,
So
Right.
that's why I would, to make yourself, because we may suggest at the planning commission meeting, what does the county say? Because now there's a discrepancy in the maps.
see,
So
we,
you
we've
might-
got to contact the county, they just keep kicking it back to you guys. We've called them a dozen times and they just keep saying it's,
What
Township.
part of the county did you call?
I don't know, my wife just showed up, she's one of those taking the phone calls.
I think that 40, if we look it up on the website, does it give the PID number? That's what the county would need.
You need the PI number at the
Yeah, that's-
recorder's office.
If they have the PID number, they'll tell you.
And what you need to find out is if there's anything recorded in that
We can get Jim right
PID
now.
section over there.
Yeah.
Nikki could send the county an
You
email.
know, you can go on the Dakota County website, and pull up the parcel information, and on there you can poke at all the other parcels around it, and you can see if they're ID'd or not, the buildables. And actually, it's really easy, I mean, we can probably sit here and do it tonight,
We
but
have all the first
Well, if we could.
I don't have my bigger, my other. It's hard to do.
From the county, you gotta have everything.
It'll ask you for an
But
address.
the IDs are on it.
Yeah, the parcel IDs
No,
are.
I got a question too. Oh, Richard, you may can answer this. You can maybe answer this.
What's that?
That 40, when it was divided from the group home to the 15 acres and the 215 acres, when was it done?
Gary did that whenever, before I bought it. Kyle Gary. I bought it from him.
1987, I'm sorry, you're right.
Yep.
It says right on here, last night in 1987.
When in 87?
320.
Right on show
No, it's after the
That's 78. Yeah, okay.
As well as.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
So they are not buildable?
The 15 acres. are-
No, they are not. No.
Correct.
No. So, well, what we just told Grant, you'd have to go back to the planning commission. We're not gonna do their job for them. We're doing some of it now. You guys got to give them the information on this, but that 40 to the west is open.
Yeah.
You would have,
That's what Jim said, we should move that, there's a buildable lot there, because we can take that, quarter from the west and move it over there.
to the east, yeah.
That's what Jim said.
But you have, like I say, you have to get a parcel split and,
That's what we said, that was the deal. We got it.
Building right transfer.
building right transfer. Yeah, but it's not approved by the planning commission. Right.
See, I'm not too smart, now what are the parcels split?
Partial split is you're gonna separate that 2.5 acres.
Well, that's already done.
No, we turned everything in.
Well, it hasn't been done by us.
Correct.
We
So
got-
we brought it to the last meeting.
Okay,
Planning commission,
But-
but we were told we had to come to this one.
according to the minutes, you've never been approved for anything.
Right, we turned everything in for it, and then.
Okay, well, you gotta go back to the planning commission and get them to approve it, so it comes back to us. That's what you have to do.
I think what they were told also is they had to make sure that they actually owned the land that they were gonna build on before
I
they.
can't own it
We
until
can't
it's,
own
I
it
can't
until
own it
it's
until it's
split
split.
Right.
You have that.
Well, they gotta do these two things, Sandy, and then they gotta show ownership, yes.
Right.
Then you apply for your building.
These guys approve it.
Right, right, we were just trying to get it split still.
Right,
Right.
We
So
we can't split it through Dakota County until you guys sign paper
agree.
to approve that.
I agree. So you go back to the planning commission, get their approval, or their whatever they recommend. We'll address it next meeting.
Well, why did Jim come down and sit down there, bring the book down, and when the person, he said, he said, and he had it right on the top table of the book there, it showed right there, he said, there is a buildable lot here, if we take and move from the back 40 up here. So he said, yeah, he said, go ahead, he said, that you should be able to get one. And isn't he on the planning commission?
He is, he's chair of the planning commission.
Okay, wow,
Well, he doesn't speak for the planning commission.
okay,
You know, they got to vote just like we do,
okay,
you
wow.
know?
I feel like that's the problem though, is nobody's on the same page, everybody's telling me to call Dakota County to get this done, and then I called them, like, I spent 3 days on the phone, and nobody could tell me anything. So I feel like we just keep going to these meetings, and then this is what happens, well, you have to go to the next one, well, you have to go to this one, well, you have to go to the next one.
I thought we had approved the parcel split at the time.
No,
They went to.
No,
You guys-
is
you
it
guys-
not in our, we don't have our draft minutes, so I can't check.
You guys
said you want to approve it because you need more time to review.
and then we turned it all
Is that
in.
what Jim had said
It's,
last month?
Sandy, last month you guys told them to come back to the next meeting with all the information.
Oh, well, that's what we did. Yeah, you might not have had enough information for us, and we asked you to bring more
So
information.
that's what we need for Monday, is the information.
What information, we turned in that and the check.
Well, give that information to Jaylene for our information that we will receive from her tomorrow to review.
They have
But I've already turned this in to the lady at the desk.
Did you send it to Nikki then?
They turned it
Yeah,
in
I gave it to
meeting.
Nikki
Okay,
at
I
the
will.
last meeting with the check.
All right, I will look into
Yeah,
that.
and then she will get
Unfortunately,
that.
she got stuck, her plane got delayed, she was supposed to be back today.
So we need that for the meeting for Monday. We need the paper, the correct paperwork from them.
Yeah, that's-
Right, if they.
From the
That,
office,
Right,
yeah.
right, from the office, okay.
Yeah, she's got that as a check,
Okay, well, we don't know.
So that there is for what?
the parcel split.
Parsons.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's what we need.
So you gotta do they can do the lot transfer at the same time.
Yeah,
They could do them two at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
If
I need
it's-
for that.
If there's one there.
There is,
There it is.
there is one.
Because all taxes are paid on it 100% for the year already, so that's all taken care of, because I know you gotta have that all paid before you can ever have a split.
I know what's up.
You say on this map it's wrong.
I'm saying that map says there's not a buildable, this one says there is. It's made by the same company, Molten Mink.
They go by
And then one in the office doesn't look like any one.
Correct.
But at some point, do we need to declare our official map to use? Whether it's that one or that one?
well, Every 5 years does not, the county's supposed to be sending out new maps for us? I
No, we
believe?
were supposed to be going over the maps after we got the ordinance done. We're only halfway done with the ordinance, so.
Okay.
And as long as it's taken for the ordinance, no one even wants to look at the maps.
I do remember when it was Corey from the Roads Committee who found a problem with the map down there, and when Molly had called the county said, well, you changed the maps, and she said, I don't have that capability, it's the county that has to do all that. So somebody at the county is messed up evidently.
Nope.
These two? That's what it's saying. That can't be right. 36, 35, 25, so they're in 26.
Yes.
What are the green dashes? Quarter sections.
So this is the quarter section, this is the quarter section.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yes, and yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. According to this map, there is one.
That's which one we look at.
Depends which map we use.
Then you use that one, because you can't have two different maps.
How about three?
No.
Actually, there's
There is a third.
Yeah.
actually, me and Norb looked at another one in the back office, which is different again.
Yeah.
Are they needing to know?
I'm sure they maybe are, but,
That one
We don't
says
know.
19.
Yeah, that one's recent.
so anyhow, the best I can tell you to do is, we're not gonna give you a ruling one way or another here tonight. It's gotta go to the planning commission first.
But we do meet the following week.
Yes, because we meet twice a month now. So we will move this faster than it used to be. But you can apply for the building rights transfer and the lot,
The parcels.
parcel split Monday night. If you got the applications,
Yeah, we got the one turned in right, so I just gotta do the building lot transfer.
right.
Okay.
So how do we do the building?
That's not mine.
Richard applies for that.
Yeah, Richard, you gotta apply for that.
Okay.
Yeah. The owner of the property has to apply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just gotta have somebody fill it out, because me and Brett on stuff like that.
I think you have enough people that can do that.
You know, hey, I'm just what they call a dumb farmer. I've been a farmer for many years, and I made it all right.
So, okay, are we good?
Yeah?
Okay, so you go to the planning commission and hopefully we get this done soon. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so
So
we're
today's
using,
the 12, when do you want the building
Gotta have that
application
tomorrow then?
by?
that's Monday.
There should be somebody tomorrow morning, Jamie will be here tomorrow morning, but she's leaving in the afternoon.
So give it to her in the morning.
As soon as you can.
I'll be here at 7 a.m. and probably here till about 1:30ish.
Okay.
And then hopefully Nikki will be back and we'll be here till 3:30 or 4 o'clock, so. You can always call and say, hey, I'm on my way, and I'll stick around, you
Okay.
know, so.
Well, Norby, it's good to see that you're better than what I heard you were for a while.
I was legally dead for 3 minutes.
I'm glad that you're doing better.
So am I, thank you.
Okay, well, thank you guys very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not too much on this kind of stuff, so.
The township site.
So your meetings always start at 6?
Yeah.
Yes.
We were thinking at 7, that's what.
Planning commission's at 7, we're at 6.
Oh,
That's where you're
that's the
getting it
confusing.
Yep.
They're asking if the form is online. Do you know if the form is online, that they have to fill out a transfer?
Which one?
The building rights transfer.
Where is
from. I
it?
don't think it's online.
Where is it? Where do they fill it out? We don't do administration, so I don't know.
Yeah, we don't do that part.
They would come in here and ask Nikki for the application. Is that what you're
Oh, is
asking?
that what they have to do?
That's
So
what
it's
they
not
have to do,
online?
yeah.
I've never seen it online. I don't know if
Okay,
it
that's
is.
why I'm
So
asking.
you have to come here on Monday.
And we can't get one today.
No.
Can you come to Town Hall?
And pick the.
I can look online here real
Show-
quick
show
and
me
see
your
what's on
Excel
here.
spreadsheet.
Okay.
He's gotta get that one.
Yeah,
Alright.
because I gotta fill that out.
He's looking
Okay.
at.
What are you thinking it would be under?
Building
We've got
permits.
building permits, agricultural permits,
This is a transfer.
new construction, over the counter, parcel split permits, would it maybe be in there?
We have,
This is a transfer, parcel split is already.
No, I'm just looking for like what something,
Yeah.
Let's try that one.
maybe this form isn't on there, Jerry, yet.
it might not be. Parcel split application, that's all that's there. Let's see, it wouldn't be an over the counter, I don't think. Yeah, let's look under building permits.
No, it's not over.
Nope, I don't think it's on the website.
No, I don't think it is.
Okay.
So
You
we
don't get a lot
seven?
of those, I guess.
I'm here at 7 o'clock.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Bolton Rink. We got an issue. The cemetery, they put a $5,000 escrow in. There was about $5,000 due to them. The check was laying in a drawer for 2 years, never was cashed. So we're sitting with a $5,000 piece of paper and $5,000 in bills. And now they're gonna be doing some more work because, I talked to Lanny today about the silk fence and that with Charlie Hyman and stuff. And the silk fence is an issue. So we're gonna be running up more bills. How do we address this?
Do you know, Jaylene, have we been sending them bills along the way?
I did, when I kind of researched Nikki's computer this morning, I did not see anything that was going to them as we invoiced them for money.
Because I thought in my conversations with Rhonda and Molly in the back, is Rhonda told me that, you know, when they would owe us money, Rhonda would send them a bill and they would send us a check. And that's why we were kind of doing it. I'm not saying it was the right way, but that's how she was doing it. So she would just send them a bill monthly or bi-monthly, I don't know. But she, you know, because I asked her about that, and she said, I just keep sending them bills and they keep sending me checks and we're all in balance and everything was good, so I left it alone. But that's how I think it was happening in the past.
Do we have record of the billing?
Well, we don't have anything. Let's
Oh,
put
you
it
can't find the billing?
I couldn't find any invoices going.
But through your system, CTAS?
Through the treasurer's system?
Yeah.
I looked, but I didn't see anything
Okay.
of where there was an invoice made for that particular.
So if there's billing, it should be in CTAS and it's not.
Correct.
Well, then that tells you it wasn't billed.
So if we have a $5,000 check in there that we never cashed and we incurred $5,000 worth of expense, would we be able to tell them that their $5,000 has ran out and that check was never cashed? Send us a check for $10,000 to cover the next $5,000?
That's where.
That was my thought.
That would be my
Yeah.
suggestion.
Yeah.
Or I'll make that a motion that we send them a notice that the check is still here, has never been cashed. We have incurred $5,000 worth of expenses. We'd like that covered, plus another $5,000 put down, which would make a check for $10,000.
Yeah.
Unless they can come up with records that
Oh,
they,
yeah, unless they
you
have
know,
proof
that
that,
pay.
but we would still like a $5,000 escrow check.
Right. We need more escrow.
I'll second it.
Okay, a motion's been made by Russ, seconded by Pete. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Let's go on to the same thing. You go down further, it says, where's Eric? Eric Nelson, under unfinished business. He called me yesterday. That's one of them houses built over there in John's development, being built right now. They had to put a $5,000 bond down for the engineer and that to make sure the survey and that stayed the same. They never were notified that there was any permits or anything, because Lanny is gonna be retiring, I think he said next Thursday, and they're breaking in a new guy, and they went over our stuff today, and he says, I think the only thing that's going on is the cemetery. Then they found that. So the house is gonna be closed down in a day or two, and there's never been anything done. He was thinking of maybe getting out there to inspect it today or tomorrow, but at least we get something. But there's a communication problem.
From the owners of the cemetery?
Well, when there's a $5,000 bond being put on, like Bolton and Mink should have been notified,
Oh,
you know,
yeah, okay.
to be, that they go after this. You know, the permit was issued, it went to our building inspector, but Bolton and Mink was never notified. So, we gotta rectify that somehow or another, that when permits go through and if there is a bond or a letter of credit, that these people get notified, that they have to have these inspections and that done. How you guys wanna address this, if we're just gonna address it with the staff or what?
So my question is, don't they already have a cheat sheet in their office when somebody comes in and asks for a permit that they go down?
But see, there usually is not an escrow on a house, a bond like this.
Okay.
Your normal house doesn't have that.
But could we put a footnote on there indicating that?
If in case there is a bond or an escrow put out, that
Whoever is on that,
the notice list gets notified.
I agree with that.
Just put it on the cheat sheet is what I would say. So that they have a template to follow. Because again, with Nikki and Jaylene just starting, it's a huge learning curve.
I agree.
Yes, it is for them,
I agree. And this happened before that.
Yes.
before this.
This
yeah,
happened
yeah.
before that. They're not to blame here.
No, they are
But this is,
not.
I'm just trying to give them.
Right, right.
it's up to
Yeah.
them.
So what do you want on our cheat sheet for
If there's a bond or a escrow required,
Or letter of credit. I
or
think
letter
it's-
of credit, the person that needs to be doing them inspections needs to be notified.
Whether Bolton and Mink or,
Someone else, yes.
Or inspect, or maybe just put all inspectors need to be notified.
The thing
notified
is,
inspector?
Eric said that Minspec
Yeah.
contacted him and he thought it's about the silt fence.
Engineers and inspectors.
And it's not about silt fence. And he told him that it's all up to us. The $5,000 had nothing to do with Minspec. So, do we need a motion on this? Or we just do it? And what's your guys' thoughts?
So Bolton and Mink was supposed to go out and check and make sure that the lot was right, and that the drainages and stuff were right.
Because they have them gardens and stuff in that.
Mm-hmm.
And when the applications came through, it said right on there that they were supposed to be monitored. They should have been monitoring it when they started digging the basement. Not in 2 days from closing.
And that was last summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they said the permit was issued in 11th month 24. Something like that.
well, I don't know that we can unring the bell.
No,
I think by making note of it for future,
Right.
moving forward.
right.
um,
But this is also one, because he mentioned that the check was laying in the drawer. But it was 25, excuse me, not 24. But it was new enough that the bank would accept it.
So this check was in the drawer also?
This check was in the drawer too, because Jaylene did cash it. And he said, I wish he would have called me soon. He had enough money in the funds to take care of it. He said it was a little bit of a surprise.
We don't have an account set just for escrow.
No, we don't.
No,
Should we set up an account just for escrow accounts? That way it's separated. You could cash a check, you don't have to wait. You retain the money, might draw 1% interest or something. But that would kind of help alleviate some of these issues, would it not?
And I thought in the past history that years ago, that's what we did.
I could have
We put the
sworn we
money
did
in the
too.
bank, isn't that
We
right,
did.
Russ, when you were on
There
board?
was an escrow account for
Yeah,
that.
we had
used
an
to.
escrow
Yeah, so
account.
where's that $25,000 that the solar farm has sitting?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
when this letting them lay in the drawer started, I have no idea.
me either.
Well, let's, like I say, let's just, we know what we know right now.
Yep.
Let's pick up and move forward.
Yep.
Do we need a motion for Jaylene to create an escrow account? So that way we don't run into this issue.
So then there would be a file for everybody that's paying one, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's documented on their paperwork how much they pay. It just goes into a fund that's the only, it's only used for escrow, whether it comes back to us or whoever it's supposed to go to.
She could
She
put
can
it,
take it out of that escrow account.
It'll be on the CTAS.
Right.
That she
Yeah.
does.
So it
She
should
does,
always
yes,
maintain
and I
that
can-
balance.
right, 'cause I can
That's
put-
all you're using it for.
Yeah, it'll
Is
be
that-
recorded.
and if
Yeah,
it
and
was,
then I can put in the little notes on, you know, what parcel number it's for, who it's for,
Yeah,
whatever, right.
and that CTAS, I can run a report and it's gonna show us.
yeah.
Right, or if you want something quicker, you can do an
An
Excel
Excel
sheet if you need
spreadsheet too as
to.
well.
And at least then we've got documentation of it.
Right, something in
We
writing.
won't be finding a check in the drawer 5 years down the road.
Right.
Can I make the motion?
Sure.
For Jaylene to open an escrow account and to track, dollars going in and dollars going out. Via spreadsheet.
Motion's been made, is there a second? I'll second. All in favor, please signify by saying
Aye.
aye. Motion carried.
Russ, you,
Nope, I didn't this
oh,
time.
who's second?
No, Robert second.
Oh,
Okay. I don't think I missed anything. Haul route for the solar company.
We do road report, or you wanna just do that first? I got a couple things on the road report.
Can we blend it in with the rest?
Yeah, we can do the haul route first, that's fine. But I do wanna.
Okay, let's do the road report. Let's do that
Okay.
and blend it all together.
Okay, so, we talked about doing Biscayne from 240th to 250th. I contacted the owner along the road to let him know that we were planning on it, and he informed me that the culvert just north of his property is rusted out on the bottom. I went out and looked at it 3 times, tried to meet with Bryce twice, we missed each other each time. But he did send us a quote today, he must have went out and looked at it yesterday. And it's my belief that there's a soft spot, there's potholes, chatter, and it's right south of this culvert. So if the culvert's rusted out underneath, the water's not running, it's literally soaking back into the road. And I believe, and I believe Bryce did, I thought maybe Beer tonight, that that's what's causing this. So we need to replace that culvert. But I don't want to put a lift on the road and replace the culvert. Because then we just got another hole in the road. This is the quote he gave. Again, this is the first time I've seen it. To put in, it's a new 40-foot, 18-inch culvert with all the dirt work and everything else. Problem is, I talked to Jerry earlier this week. He does not believe we have anything in the budget for culvert work, meaning we would have to find this money somewhere else. Do we want to keep a half a mile of road gravel back or not use it at all? Do we want to put weight on this project until next year? I mean, not this project, this needs to get done. But do we want to wait to put the lift on next year, let it settle for a year, take that mile and put it down on 232nd? Because everybody says how rough and bad that one is, so do we want to do that? That's what I'm asking the board. I don't want to start running the road budget way over.
Right.
And so by pulling that half mile that we were going to keep back as a surplus, do we want to keep the mile back as a surplus? How do you want to work it? I haven't talked to Bryce again, he just sent this in. But this needs to get done, because again, if anybody wants to stop and look at that culvert up here, we put an extension on, I believe, on the east side a couple of years back, so it actually sticks out a little farther now, but the west end is completely rusted through. When I was there a week ago, there was water standing, today there is not. But again, I believe in Bryce, the short conversation I had with him, believed the same thing. So that culvert needs to be replaced.
Okay. Well, here's the other kicker. Last meeting, when Jaylene took that $100,000, we authorized 85. That $15,000 that came out of that road CD is now in our general fund. I said, let's keep it out, and I thought we were gonna get an extra mile of gravel.
Okay.
Do we use it for the gravel, or do we use it for this?
Culvert
Definitely needs to be put in.
would be my suggestion, but
Call
it's my opinion.
Then if there'd be a little bit left for
Spot gravel.
spot graveling or something.
Culvert's gotta be before gravel,
Well,
otherwise,
that's just, yeah, why tear up the road after we put the lift on it?
Right.
Again, then that, I believe, if you want to look at it, but I believe that's why the road is, because it's pot marked just south of that, and water's running that direction. So that's my belief. Osmond has a minimum of 3, if not 4, drain tiles that drain into that culvert. Well, not into it, but in the ditch before the culvert.
Mm-hmm.
So if we drop that culvert down and put it in, then the water will run rather than pond.
Thoughts?
I agree with Russell Pete.
Yeah.
But I mean, we talked about it, you brought it up that CD was from the road.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked her to make sure not to put it in the CD back,
Okay,
but we left it in the general fund for right now.
okay.
But I wanted to talk to you guys about it tonight. So that was my thought. Since we took it out of there, originally I was gonna say we're gonna get another mile of gravel. This way, if we do this, we get another half mile.
Well, if we do this, we also haven't got a quote on the spring or finalize that, so there's another.
And then we got another situation. We got a quote here from Bryce, but we did 2 on the lawn mowing and everything. Do we have to do the same here? If we're gonna treat everybody alike?
we do now.
Yep.
Yep.
And who else would it be?
Farmer's Mill won't touch it.
No, digging a culvert in.
Oh, digging culvert. Yeah, that's a real, I don't,
Yeah.
Richie Stevens doesn't do that anymore.
Be TJ Grossman.
We need someone else to give us another.
Any excavator. would.
Yeah,
They don't even need to be a road person.
right. But we did it for the lawn mowing and stuff and that. If we're gonna do it, we gotta do it right for everybody.
Yeah, because it's only 2-week delay. I mean, like, that's the beauty of twice a month.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If we could find another contractor that would give us a quote. I have no problem with that at all.
You wanna contact him? TJ? Give us a quote on this?
Well, that would be Russell's.
Okay,
I'll need his number and stuff, but yeah.
that'd be great.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay.
Have him come out and look at it. Maybe I'll actually meet him. Like I said, Bryce and I tried 2 or 3 times and never made it.
Okay. So do we just table this until next meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
But I'll tell Bryce also not even think about graveling this game yet until we know for sure what's going on.
Do you
Russell,
know?
get a pencil? I have a pen. 612-910-2677.
And what's his name?
TJ Grossman.
TJ.
I don't know what TJ stands for.
Okay,
That's what it goes by, I guess.
perfect. I'll have him.
Okay. So now the haul roads for the solar company. They say they're coming. Kenny Betzel was in here this morning and asked a couple of questions, and he says he thinks they're coming late fall. Wait, some.
I actually got a site permit because I'm directly across from the project. I get all the correspondence. And it actually said 2027.
Well, they're close.
So, did the township get the actual site permit? Just, I guess, put it down.
I have not seen it, that does not mean Nikki, it's not in Nikki's email somewhere, or she's printed it somewhere, I just have not seen it. So I'm not sure.
I can provide that to the township if you'd like, but it did say 2027. Unless something changed since
Well, they're planting crops out there, aren't they?
they did.
What?
They're planting crops on that land.
Yeah.
So I doubt they're gonna do any construction this year.
No, he said it would be November, December, but he was, yeah.
Is this one of them where we want to have our engineer look at the roads like we did before XL?
We could do that.
Our problem being is we can't bring them down the bridge off of Blaine, we can't bring them up the road from here because of them 3 culverts being so shallow. It leaves us with 225th to Biscayne to 230th, Annette to 230th,
Yep.
or what's the Audrey from County Road 80 to 230. That's the 3 possibilities.
But if
I agree.
If they come up Audrey, they gotta go over another bridge again.
Yeah, but that one's been, that one's not failing though, is it?
Oh, we're gonna be putting a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah, then let's discontinue that one. The only route they have is either Annette or 225th.
Yeah.
That's.
Down Biscayne to 230th.
That's about,
But they gotta get down to here too.
No, there's no bridges. The other problem that they're gonna have on, if they come in on 225th, and that when we did the Excel project, is, I don't know what, they got that asphalt classified as for weight, so if they're bringing in some heavy stuff, it's not our concern, but they may have a concern with Farmington, so you'd hate to tell them to come in that way, and they come in, and then all of a sudden Farmington goes out there and has a field day with it. So I'm just letting you know that that asphalt's got a little limitation.
it's 7 or 9 ton, because I know he complained when the township made him build it. Colin Garvey actually paid for that, because he put that housing development in there. And I believe it's a minimum of 7 if it's not a 9 ton, because they had to do a lot of work on it, and I would not, it might be in the roads reports here. That's something we'd have to look up here, otherwise I don't know if Mark Henry would recall, because he was in on that when we did that. I would have to ask him. Because otherwise you're looking at a net only.
And that's what we did with Excel, we told them that was the only way to go.
And as far as for the south ones here, they come on County Road 80 access. They're coming from this side anyhow. Because Osmond's old place is off of 80, Brooks is off 80. They're all off 80, so that wouldn't bother us. I mean, we could tell them that that's the route that they're going to use for this, not come the other way. But I would think that they would want to use asphalt anyhow.
I think we'd have to get a map and highlight it.
I don't think that's a bad idea either.
I probably still have the max they gave you Excel.
Okay. Well, why don't we have them in 2 weeks and then we can decide from that, but again, I think that's what.
I was gonna say, if you can furnish them maps, Jerry,
I'll look for them.
okay? And then let's address this at the next meeting, okay?
Okay. I do have one other thing. Excel with their power line. I've talked to this lady, Julia, poor lady, call her twice a day. So, Jerry told me that the county, or that Matt told him that no county roads are 110 feet. Unfortunately, they are. The road in front of Wagon Connects is 110 feet, or 100 feet, whatever it is. I drove down Biscayne, and when the county gave it back to us, apparently they changed the right-of-way. It's now 33 feet on the map, but the posts and the fiber optic are all set at 50 feet.
Oops.
Yeah, I don't presume fiber optic is going to come and move that setback. But Excel wants to move it into the, 33 feet, be 29 feet from the center of the road because it's a 3-phase. I said, my only concern with that is snow removal or things like that, and it's going to be a heavy-duty pole because it's going to hold the 3-phase. It's going to be taller. She said, well, what is your board? I said, well, I'll talk to them, but I guess we may have to get the county involved to see why the setback has changed. If they had it at 50, why did they change it to 33? Just because they gave it back to the township? Because the county road from Highway 3 all the way over to Blaine is 100 feet wide, except there's a few exceptions. Parasaw's house the other new house that's, or the new owners that are in there. I think they were the only two that I could come up with right off the top of my head that were in that setback. Funny thing is, when you go across the bridge on Biscayne, the culvert that creek runs through,
Yeah,
that's at 50 feet for the bridge, but then it drops back to 33.
and we make it 50 all the way.
Well, I'd like to,
Yeah,
but,
that's what our ordinance says.
well, do we want to just change it to 50 feet? I mean, I think, let me go measure it to make sure, but I think we're already at that 50 feet. The landowners are already set back that far. Now, when you get down the routes on south of 270th, they're at 33 on the south side, with 50 on the west side, or east side, and 50 on the west side. It's like this when you
That would be best if we had it all along.
at 50 feet.
And yes,
Yeah. Makes sense.
So I guess that's something we may want to talk to the attorney about, what we have to do to set that back to make it 50 the entire way. Because there are no houses that I'm aware of that's set in that 50-foot setback. Casey Kimber's far enough out. Again, he's already at that 50 feet. Smalls. Yeah, I believe they're all out of the 50-foot. So we need to contact the attorney and ask him what we need to do going forward. But again, let me measure them out. Try to get my file. But I will get,
I was gonna say, why don't you measure them? There we go again, the next meeting.
I will try to measure them.
I was gonna say, but we got other stuff here,
Yeah.
the same thing, so it
Okay,
shouldn't be bad, and then we can decide then.
okay.
I'd like to see it that we could put them all.
Well, again, since the culvert's out at 50 feet, and that's ours, why isn't the rest of the road at 50 feet?
Exactly.
And again, the originals look like they're 50 feet.
I agree. Okay. So, yeah, because we're gonna talk about the haul routes and stuff and that, so let's put that all together for the next meeting. Okay.
I will get the measure. Oh, and that's the other thing, that's why I was late getting here. I did the 275th to the elevator. I don't think it needs to be graded yet right now. We've been dry, so we've been lucky in that respect. I drive it at least once a week just to make sure. But
Okay.
again, by the bridge, there's a couple potholes, but nothing, unless the elevator or somebody calls, I don't foresee anything this week.
Okay. Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay, sounds good. Sam, you're up with the updates.
Alright.
Where do you want to start?
That's what I was gonna ask you guys. Where would I start?
So are the computers talking to themselves?
What was that?
Are the computers talking to each other?
Not yet. So with that, I guess I'll start with between last week and today. So came in the day after previous meeting, and I got all the information for the proposal, and also got the email stuff, the passwords reset for the supervisor emails that needed done. I took a look at the computers and to see if I get them to talk to each other. To make a very long story short on all that, the email that is being used for the office computer and the treasurer computer for the count on the computer itself, the OneDrive, is not the township email that has been set up. It is a different email. It's a Castle Rock clerk and Castle Rock treasurer at Outlook.com that appears to have been set up before the Microsoft account was set up through HostPapa. So everything is syncing to those two. Trying to get those two to talk to each other. I believe I got some of it to talk to the treasurer computer, but I had to leave before it could finish syncing. But to get them to do exactly what we want them to do, I would have to move everything from those specific accounts to the Castle Rock Microsoft accounts and make sure all the information is transferred, synced over, and then reset on those computers through that account. I didn't want to start that without checking on that because it's going to be a bit more time than initially thought for that spot. The other reason I wanted to wait is with the proposal I put together with the information about moving stuff from Post Papa to Microsoft directly and the emails and things like that, and cleaning that up. Some of that can be incorporated together to reduce some of that cost. Just so we're not hitting cost on this one thing and then having some duplication on the Microsoft stuff and Post Papa and all of that. So that's where we're setting up computers talking to each other. It was a slightly bigger mess than it originally appeared, and wanted to confirm before I spent the hours on it, so I wasn't blindsided with a larger than expected bill.
Okay. You guys?
So what is the cost to do that? What do we,
What is it?
It's going to depend on how much time it takes. Honestly, I'd say at least 2 to 3 hours per account to me to get the accounts merged, move everything over, make sure everything transfers over, double check everything. At least 3, maybe 4 hours per account. So 600 to 700 ballpark. If we were doing it by itself. If we do it when moving everything with the Microsoft stuff and kind of cleaning that up, I can probably shave off 2 to 3 hours off of that total. It's going to depend on how much stuff has to be moved over. On those computers, there are 3 Outlook accounts. One that's being used for that, one that has a small amount of things that will be easy to take care of, and then the ones that are set up through the township through the Post Papa. To get all that cleaned up, it really is going to depend how easily it lets me transfer the stuff, how much security was set up on the previous one. But I would estimate about 3 hours per account would be a safe estimate. At 120 hours, so 360 per account.
I would say that doing that, changing from Post Papa to Microsoft directly would be their #1 priority at this point. That it includes some cost savings, because of the email, so.
I would recommend doing all that with moving things from Post Papa to Microsoft directly, just to be on the safe side, in case there's other things we change in there. We're not changing things and changing them again.
Can we?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We have our officer from the community here. So if we could just have him address us, and he can go on his way.
Absolutely.
Very good. Not a whole lot, obviously, budget's getting nicer out there, so that's good. People are going a little fast, but the one thing we have seen already is people are out the wire thefts on the irrigators for the farms. They've been on the east side in Goodhue, but if anybody sees, especially later at night time, or if you're driving around and see cars, call us. It ends up being farm resident, whichever, I'm sure they will appreciate that even. But yeah, that's the big thing right now is they just hit one and we got out a lot of it. So
Okay.
want to notice on that. I don't know if everybody's aware, but end of March, the Minnesota School to Stop Arm bus law changed a little bit. Now it's requiring drivers to stop at least 20 feet away from the school bus when the red lights are flashing, and they must remain stopped until the red lights are no longer flashing. The stop arm also does not need to be fully extended for there to be a violation. So that was in before, or that we were we'd get violations and see the stop arm not all the way up, but now that's not a part of it. So that's a really good thing, I think. Obviously the new, it's not Castle Rock, but they got those lights up at 52 and 46. That's so far so good. Any crashes out there? And then the last thing, speed trailer requests. You guys, we're getting that time of year where we're going to start getting them out. We're just kind of making a list. So if there's any certain roads you'd like them on, and then if you guys know like a particular time of day when your violations or people or you notice a speed more than anything, let me know and I can put it in there, and then we can, again, I don't know when or how long they'll be there, because we got a whole list, but we have maybe up to 4 speed trailers now. So we go up there and then all that data where they're at is saved and logged. So we can go back and see kind of when the heavy times are, so that we know for future stuff as well.
Everybody talks about this road.
Yep. And we do run, a decent amount of traffic out here, but this is the one that came to my mind as well. 243, but I don't know if there's any other ones you guys would.
I know this is an issue.
Blaine can be from time to time.
Yeah, Blaine can be,
Blaine straight Blacktop Road.
Yeah. So, would you put, I'd say 240 would be the top of the list, and then Blaine would be the secondary one. Any, like a specific cross street around Blaine that you would prefer if we were to get one out there?
245th and Blaine.
245th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because even stop signs don't mean anything there. Been through there, just missed a couple cars, and I'm going east and west, not north and south.
Yeah. So, okay. I will make some notes, and then we should be getting back soon now that, like, snow is not going to be an issue anymore till for a few months. You guys have anything for me?
I want to say, anybody else have anything? Sounds good.
Very good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Brad.
Well, I was just, in looking at Sam's quote here, proposal here, prioritizing, to me, the email section there would be priority number one.
Keep everything off post Papa.
Yeah, and then if that includes kind of some of that other work with the
Yeah.
email.
Anything I can include in there, absolutely.
Yeah, and then number two would be the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And number three would be the video streaming for meetings. And then number four would be the Lenovo ThinkPad for board. I think that's really low on the total pole compared to the other things. We don't have just Wi-Fi, we're not gonna have probably very good streaming. So that's kind of why I put that as number three. So I really think the email part, number one, we should do that ASAP.
You guys agree?
I thought switching from Host Papa to Microsoft Direct was gonna drive our costs down.
They changed prices. They increased prices on two things. Then also, I had a conversation with a couple different people in the MSP vector of business stuff. With the way that the Microsoft account is set up, they were charging you $12 per month for Microsoft Basic, which is the lowest tier Microsoft account has. That's just email. There's nothing else that comes with it, just email. The standard is the one that every MSP I've talked to recommends for multiple different reasons. The three they brought up when I said this for a township: security. The standard has better security, but also has some ability for logging and tracking on specific things, including when a device was logged into. So if somebody's account gets hijacked for some reason, we can see that, we can see where it was logged into, stuff like that, which is what I need to have on that. It also includes all of the Word, Excel, PowerPoint programs that come with that. So you can download it on a computer and up to 5 devices. So you can use it on the work ones, you can use it on home ones, you can use it on your phone, all of that, up to 5 devices per account. The biggest thing they recommend on that one for that was the storage. Basic has a very small amount of storage, and that's including email along with other things. It's a full terabyte per user. The issue I've run into with other townships, other businesses in general, is you have everyone's on a basic one, and one person's on like a higher end one, and they store it on storage, which is all pulled together. So people start putting things into shared drives, or like the clerk and the treasurer sharing stuff between them, not both the drives are hitting things. It starts to add up very quickly, especially because just how Microsoft saves stuff, it's always larger than it should be, I swear. Those are the couple different reasons. And then after looking at everything, Microsoft jumped their prices up by quite a bit. That being said, they still have the annual discount, so if it's paid for annually versus monthly, you do save some money in there. That's the $1,200 I had quoted on there. Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at that. It would not surprise me if Host Papa increased the cost as well, so it still makes sense to get off of them, because right now you're paying essentially the same as once they're done with everything, you'll be paying the same, whether it be Microsoft or Post Pop-Up, it's just Microsoft's gonna give you the standard versus the basic, which is gonna give you a lot more value for your money. We can always move stuff to basic if we want to. The recommendation I would present, just from everybody else, is standard is where you go, especially on a township or any kind of business that needs security in their system.
And that would be changing our email address to .gov or?
That'll be down the road. That'll be a different thing. So the host pop-up to Microsoft, that is honestly getting the billing off of host pop-up to Microsoft and giving you more control over it. Right now, host pop-up still has some control over billing and some other things because they are reselling the product versus just buying it through Microsoft directly. Once we get that off of host pop-up, we can start closing that host pop-up accounts out, and then you're not paying them for all the other stuff. Getting it to a .gov, that we have to apply through the .gov website, which I can get that to you guys. Then it's a matter of getting through that. They give you a .gov domain, and then we just move everything to that domain and close out the one that's currently on there. For this whole thing, once we get the Microsoft stuff off of Host Papa, we can move that domain that's on Host Papa to anywhere, in which case I would just throw it onto the hosting platform I use for all the domains that I manage for websites. Since you guys have your website through me, it's included, so you don't have to pay me for that or anything. And then when the .gov is ready, we just get everything signed up on that. It's very easy to do.
Could any of us apply for the .gov? or-
Yep, so I will send that an email to the clerk and then to the very specific site, and because everything in Minnesota is moving towards having this start up in in June for a lot of stuff, there's a lot of false sites that have started getting made to try to get people to sign up for things, and then it's a whole another rigmarole of they've got access to things that they shouldn't, or you're paying for things you shouldn't. So I'll get the link pulled up, email over to the clerk, and then whoever wants to do that can.
Any of the previous emails on the other, whatever, .net or whatever it was,
We'll move all
are
those over.
those, okay, those are all will be still retained?
Yep, so the mailbox will be the same, it'll just be, instead of being .com, once we get the going, it'll be .gov. We will keep the .com and just forward from that to the .gov emails. That way if somebody emails the old email address, it's going to the correct one, and we can keep that live for as long as we need to. It runs as an alias in Microsoft, very easy to set up. That way it's just a more fluid transfer over to that, if it works. But I would agree, that would be probably the first thing I would recommend doing, is get the email stuff done, so that's all taken care of. We can start cutting out post pop-up, and then the Wi-Fi and video streaming, we can honestly, if we want to do this both at the same time, we would probably save some money on it. Just because I'm already here, I might have to make a second trip. While things are being set up on the Wi-Fi, I can start setting things up on the streaming platforms, thing, et cetera, et cetera. So doing those at the same time would save you a little bit of cost. How much, it just depends on how many things I can be multitasking at the same time.
Yeah, I appreciate, offering
Yeah.
cost savings, but we still have to live within the budget.
No, fully understand that.
Gotta make tough choices. Managed services, this is a cost per device, and we just have the 2 devices?
Currently, you just have the 2, yep. So there is 2 more HP laptops that are not being used back there, which are, one of them is they're the same age as the clerk laptop. The treasurer one is newer, I believe that's about a year to 2 years old, versus 5.5 on the other ones. The managed services would cover, the endpoint bit would cover the devices themselves, and user, that's going to be everyone who's got like an email account. For the Microsoft 365 business standard, that would be through Microsoft. Either billed through them or billed through me, whichever works easiest in that case, the MSP side of things. And then if you would like the backup on there, that's what that included. That backup is in our 365 account, so if something happens, we still have everything right there, easy to pull up and go. Account gets deleted, emails get deleted, something gets hijacked, it's all secure. And a second backup, which is separate from the Microsoft side of things. I would endpoints thing aside, because the thing with endpoints is we can do a lot of stuff with that 365, including things like single sign-on and things like that. Or sorry, for the end user. For the endpoints, I would recommend setting that up on the laptops just in general. That way you've got the security side of things, you've got a backup system if the laptop crashes. That way things aren't getting lost. Again, up to what fits in the budget and things like that. But yeah, for the managed services, that would be that, and then anything outside of those things. With the managed services, the device monitoring, something's going on with the device, it's having an issue, it's starting to fail, things like that. It looks like it popped up that there was 5 or 6 viruses that got caught, something's going on with this. Then it would be reaching out to whoever would be my main point of contact. And like, hey, this device having these issues, here's what we're looking at, and then we go from there.
So if we got, $199.50 per device, so it's actually.
Say that one more time.
On, under managed services?
The estimated total per month?
Yeah.
That $199.50 was for setting up with the endpoint, the end users based on the current setup. So that would be with 2 devices and 7 users being set up on the managed service.
Oh, that's taken into consideration 2 devices, so it's not $400, correct?
Yeah, sorry. Yes. So it's 42 per device, $16.50 per user is how it breaks down to that. The $199.50 was estimate total based on the current setup of 2 devices, the 2 laptops in there, and the 7 end users, which would be the 7 emails that are currently going on, the clerk, the treasurer, and the 5 board.
Okay. All that's included in 185?
Yep.
Or 180. Okay.
Yep. In that 365 business standard, that's the Microsoft's direct instead of host pop-up. So that's already kind of built into that portion of it. It's just broken down in that managed service provider portion.
So business standard compared to the Microsoft directly?
So I didn't clarify this in the proposal, and I apologize. The Microsoft 365 business standard, that's what you guys already have currently. Price-wise, you've got the basics from host pop-up, moving into Microsoft directly. You recommend moving into that business standard. So price is going to be about the same. So the $13.50 that's in there per month, if we keep it at the 7 users, what you're paying right now for host pop-up versus moving to Microsoft directly doesn't really change. So that would not cause an increase. Any other additional users would increase it by that much. That's why I put that in there. If that makes sense.
Okay, guys, where do you think you want to be here? What do you want to do?
Do we have any budget that calls out technology specifically?
We don't have anything in the budget here for this week.
I don't think so.
You may tell all the other boards in general.
Right.
I know we looked at this last year, and that's what kind of shot us down last year, is because of the budget for it.
Right.
But doing nothing every year, that doesn't get us any place neither.
Well,
You know?
then we should put money in the budget
Yeah, I
for it
agree.
and deal with it, but all we did was hack away at the budget this year and said, you know, we guys gotta hack, and which is, I understand that, we're trying to keep the budget down, but then we can't go spending money after we just got done hacking the budget down to nothing.
Well, I think it's imperative that the computers back there need to talk to each other.
Right.
That's gotta get done.
I would say the email one on the first page and the managed services on the second page.
And those two do correspond with each other in the sense that the
Right.
Microsoft business standard and managed service.
Mhm.
And I know it's $2,000 more, but for 3 years at the annual meeting, you know, they've been telling us they want live stream. And we keep kicking that can down the road.
We do.
Then we should put it in the budget then.
Yeah.
You know, that's the problem I have is,
I understand that they, and I also hear that they want tree trimming and they want better roads and all this other stuff, but
Then that culvert we looked at earlier for 8 grand's not in the budget, so we throw that out.
I agree with you.
I know, 3 years we've been talking about live streaming.
You know, and then we still haven't talked about what are we gonna do down at, 275th Street.
If we, I think this money would have been there with better practices in the back room.
Is there, is there any money in general fund?
General fund?
That could be used towards some of this?
We pretty much hacked everything away,
The whole general fund?
yeah, we could, because we were $180,000 over budget, so that's why we trimmed everything we could possibly trim, and that took 40,000 out, and it got us down to 140,000 over budget. So that's why, yeah, I just don't know.
We don't have anything in general fund for 2026?
Well, the people did give us more than we were asking. We were asking for 20 and they gave us 30.
Correct.
Well, hold it, we needed 40.
I know that, but I'm just saying.
We needed 40 to be in
I
balance.
know.
and
I'm
we
just
only got
saying,
30.
we did get more than,
Okay, so we got shorted, we don't have enough money to pay the bills, but let's spend the 30%. Well, that doesn't seem to help the cause if we, I mean, they gave us the 30% to bail us out to pay the bills. And now we're saying, well, let's take the 30% and buy stuff with it. I don't know how that helps us pay the bills. We were still 10% short.
Well, but
I
we
mean-
also have to listen to the residents of what they request, I mean, that's what we work for. So,
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion, we do video streaming, we do the email section, and the managed service section.
that is a total of,
you know, they'll just keep in mind the last page is recurring monthly.
So the last page is 200 a month, right?
right,
Ballpark.
So it's $3,300 for the video streaming and the email.
2,000 emails is,
So,
Times 12 is 24.
The email-
Is 44.
I'm going to throw one thing in the email because I'm realizing that there might be some slight confusion on this. That $1,200 in the email is not how much you're paying for me to do anything. That's how much it cost over that year.
right.
Right?
If you're doing the monthly thing, take that $1,200 completely out of any numbers because you're not paying that.
We're only paying 200 more a month.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. I just want
Not
to make sure of
1,200.
that. Yeah.
Well, that makes it an easier pill to swallow.
Yeah,
Right.
the only
The
thing
email
is the
thing,
labor,
yeah.
and that's about 3 to 4 hours. Estimated 3 on this is about that much to get it transferred over.
With that being said, then I would second Pete's motion.
I was going to ask a question.
go ahead.
With the streaming, did you want to also get the Wi-Fi and everything updated on that so you have better connectivity for that? I should add, you still have good connectivity back here. We can run a cable from the router to here to make it work.
So where we're at now with Wi-Fi in the building, we're capable of running video streaming. It may
That
not
means you are
work,
capable of running it.
but
Correct. Yep, if we need to, we would just run a hard-line Ethernet cable from the router back there to here and use that to give internet to the computer, and that should be sufficient enough to get you going.
I think that would be,
Cost-wise,
considering the cost of what we're looking at here already, I would say we have to wait with number 2, that, for the Wi-Fi.
no worries.
We'd love to be able to do everything, but we.
I completely understand, but I've been on many boards myself, I know it. So, video streaming, email, managed services.
So Pete made the motion, do we have a second?
I seconded it.
You made the second. All in favor, please signify by saying
Aye.
Jerry will be opposed, and please note in the minutes that due to it's not in the current budget.
Yeah, I would have to concur with him as well, Russ. I totally agree we need it, but I think it should have been budgeted. That's just, again, I agree with Jerry on that.
3-2 vote, motion carries. Okay.
When do you think you'd be able to get started? Kind of a timeline of expectations of completion?
For the email, I'll make that priority. Assuming that Postpub does not throw me any more curveballs than they already have, email should be done by end of next week. The video streaming, once everything is in for that, I can get that set up. For the ordering of it, typically I have clients order them, so A, it comes to the spot, and B, they don't have to try to repay me for that, because then that just makes a whole other weird thing with bookkeeping. Once stuff is in, I can come in and do it. I would say, let's say 2 to 3 weeks, just to give me a little bit of leeway in case something comes up curveball-wise, but plan would be to have it done by end of next week with the understanding that if some curveball is thrown at me by Postpub or something else, give me 1 more week to get stuff done.
We'll just say 2 to 3 weeks.
Perfect.
For completion. And the other one is just managed services and
Managed services, that would just be getting access to the computer so I can get the programs downloaded onto that.
Yeah.
That one, with the exception of the antivirus, 'cause I'm waiting to get back the vendor, it is giving me stuff for that, so I'll have that hopefully by next week. The device monitoring, the remote access, the backup system, I can get those on whenever I have the laptops at hand. My thought is, if I'm coming in through video streaming stuff and setting all that up, I can, as long as those 2 laptops are here, I can get that set up on those 2 at the same time.
so a couple, 2 to 3 weeks.
Yep.
Okay.
Anybody have anything else? Nancy?
Can I ask you something real quick? On that video streaming, are those, do you record then too? So then, are those recorded? And then, so where do the recorded videos go? On the website or what?
Wherever group would like them to go. I'm not going to dictate that way, because that's wherever you guys would like them to be at. They will be saved to the OneDrive, the cloud-based system of the email account that is used for the streaming. Either clerk, or if we set up a simple one just for that, so it's not tied to anyone else's things. From there, it can be put on the website. As for the streaming itself, that'll be done through Microsoft Teams, and a link for that, the plan is to put that on the website so that people can just go to the website, click, and it pulls up the link for it.
Can they be on YouTube? The reason I say that, like Farmington's meetings are all on YouTube.
Yes. There's some additional setup that has to be done for that. The nice thing about Teams is you have a little more control over it. YouTube, there's public and private. Teams, you can have it public, you can have it with a link only, you can have it private. And Teams is already built into the Microsoft stuff you guys have in this account. Either one will work. So if you would rather have it on YouTube, we can do that. Teams, the nice thing about that, there's a couple extra features that we can use on that. And it's then saved to the OneDrive, which is accessible by everybody here as well. So if anyone needs the recording or whatnot, they can pull it off of that. I would say it can go either way. So whichever way y'all would prefer, I can either do YouTube or Teams.
Does it cost money on Teams?
It's included with your Microsoft Office account, so you already got Teams built in. So no, there's no additional cost.
So what I was using earlier.
I was going to say Teams did not work earlier for us tonight.
We heard Teams can be a little buggy.
It can be a little buggy. It's also because we're using Teams through the Supervisor account.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's up on basic instead of standard. So Teams is going to be buggy on that because it doesn't have all the extra features.
It didn't work well.
Last time it worked, this time it didn't. We couldn't log in.
And with that computer, that would be dedicated just for the streaming side of things. So it would have everything set up for that. to prevent that from happening.
I would just like it to see easy for the public to go on there, click, and it's there.
Yep.
We don't want to get into anything other than that.
One thing also the board should know, they talked about this, Matt was discussing this. Apparently, and don't quote me, I didn't, they just mentioned that there's a new law now. Once you start streaming as a township, you cannot stop it. State law says once you make that available to the public, you must continue doing it going forward. So that for whatever reason, if it didn't work out,
Yeah.
we're stuck with it now going forward.
That's
Well, I think-
YouTube's
I think that's-
free.
I think that's.
So is Teams. So soon as we have the camera and stuff set up, the streaming is,
Yeah.
we're already paying for it, it's already there.
Right. And I think we should just, for now, stick with the link on, the Teams link on
On the
our
website.
website.
Right, we could always go to YouTube later if we really have a problem with Teams, can't we?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can either do both.
Yeah, whatever's easiest for the public is what I'm looking for.
Yeah. My thoughts, easy for public and easy for whoever's running it in here. Because it's easy for the public, but the person here has a pain in the ass time getting it up.
Right,
It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So I wanna make sure it's easy for both.
okay. Perfect.
Anything else for Sam? No. I guess as soon as we can get started.
Perfect, I was putting notes in here.
Oh, did you look into it all, AI?
I did. Teams doesn't have the ability to do that, it's an additional cost.
Okay,
That was the only one I could find that was accessible. There's a bunch of different programs out there. Some rated well, but the cost value on those, it's like 30, 40 bucks a month to have some of that. Teams, I think we can do a little bit cheaper on, so I'm
Okay.
researching that,
Alright.
seeing what we can do on that, especially
Yep.
on the standard account. Unfortunately, it's newer to me, so I need to
Yeah.
still dig into it a little more, and watch it and see with
you know,
other.
even if it was 30, 40 a month, if it puts it in minute form, it's gonna save our clerk 2 hours, 3 hours of work right there. Which is gonna save that money right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just putting down notes in here. We did streaming, email, MSP, timeline 2 to 3 weeks, just so I've got that in there. Perfect. Yeah, no, once I have more information on AI stuff, I will send that to Clark to give to you guys for the meeting.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, I'll get those put together. I think that's everything. My last thing, and then I'll shut up and get the heck out of here. Device, you have another thing, sir?
Yep, when you're done, I'm good. I'll wait.
Devices, because budget's been mentioned. I would recommend, in whatever budget you do for tech, putting a budget in there for devices. My recommendation on an IT side of things is a 3 to 5 year life cycle on laptops, computers, things like that. After 5 years, they get to be outdated enough for the security stuff, like type of issues, device type issues, and it's cheaper it's more cost efficient to replace them than repair them. The Lenovo ThinkPads, those are refurbished ones. Getting a refurbished computer, not a bad thing. Lenovo ThinkPads Generation 3 and 4 are what a lot of tech companies are using. I happen to find these at a reasonable price, actually. I would start putting in the budget for those devices, especially given that the laptop that Clint is using is over 5 years old, and the 2 backup ones are in the same boat. The one that Treasure has is, like I said, it's a year or 2 old, so that'll be good for a couple more years. But that would be a recommendation to have is whatever tech budget you do, just add in for a 3 to 5 year plan on devices, just to make sure.
Cool. Okay, last thing, if, when you come in to work on computers to link them, so they talk, I think for the board, it'd be highly beneficial if Jaylene could also learn to put stuff on and off the website. Because we've had Nikki's been on vacation, couldn't get back. I mean, Jaylene can't do anything with the website, can't do anything, because she's never been shown how.
Yep.
You know?
Honestly, when I do that, I'd like to do that to
Jaylene, yeah.
Perfect, and Nikki, because I know Nikki has, for lack of words, bulldozed her way through the website stuff and trying to figure it out. Because I haven't had a chance to sit down with her and go over stuff. So I'd like to sit down with both of them, kind of over things in case there's things that might help Nikki with anything on that, and then that way also you can learn website stuff. And I would make sure you both have your own user, just so you can each get in where you need to go and from a board perspective and an IT perspective, it logs when people go in, who made changes, things like that, which has been used for already in one other business. So, yeah, so plan for that when I come in for those. I'll walk out to an hour of consultation on that. And because it's a change up in staffing versus like adding people and stuff like that, those consultations, I do the 1 hour for free, so I'm not charging for that bit. All right, so I got that. Cool. Any other questions that any of you have?
I guess we're good.
Perfect. If anything comes up, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I will start working on this right away. And who would be a good point of contact for me for anything tech-wise on this stuff here? Who would be the best person to reach out to? Would that be?
Well, one of you two, that's for sure.
Brian's our communication guy.
Sure.
Sounds good. Then Brian, I'll reach out to you on these things once I get down or if I need anything else for getting things going. You have
Can I give you my cell number?
Yes.
Oh, listen, everybody.
Yeah.
507. 273.
It's on the website, you know.
I already forgot the first 3 numbers he said, yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
Perfect.
You want to send me a quick text and I'll have yours?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do it once I get out here so you can
Sure.
go to the meeting.
No worries, thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
I see the Johnsons walked in.
Yeah, we did.
How can we help you?
We came here to listen to the meeting.
Oh, okay. Well, if you have nothing, we're gonna keep
There's
on
nothing on here except comments that may come up.
Okay, that sounds great.
Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.
Good. Becoming a city, the committee got together. Drea's gonna give a couple of minute presentation and then talk to you guys. Drea?
Sure, thank you. So I did send the link, the video link of when the attorney Corey came in for Corey. So any of you that watch it, that's great, then we're kind of up to speed with that. I won't pertain to that video too much. We also met with Credit River and Empire when we got a chance, a while back. I don't remember how long ago that was now. Was that 2 years ago?
2024.
Okay, so we've been on pause, but now we're back. So we did meet for a short time last week and just discuss how, we'll just kind of go over, how I'm gonna approach this from our group is the 2022 Minnesota statute 414.02, and I believe, did it get put in your packet?
I believe it is.
And if you guys want to just follow along, I will make it very simple. And I won't go through all of it, I just will highlight the important parts of it. You got it? Okay, good. So it's the 2022 Minnesota statute, that's the latest and greatest. And then it's exclusive method of municipal incorporation. So we have to do incorporation. Subdivision 1, the very first paragraph, initiating the proceedings. Now, it says specifically in this state statute that this section provides the exclusive method of incorporating a municipality in Minnesota. Proceedings for incorporation of a municipality may be initiated by petition of 100 or more people, property owners, or by resolution of the town board. And those are the only 2 ways of incorporating as a town. Then if you jump, I'm going to skip the rest of it because it just kind of, goes into a little more explanation on all that. Then down to the next paragraph, subdivision 1A, it's just a notice of intent to incorporate it, and that just gets into the paperwork legalities, 30 days, and so does subdivision 2. So I won't go through and read all that. That's just, will be more for an attorney down the road to use those subdivisions. Subdivision 3 is what I'm probably going to work on most here. these are relevant factors in arriving at the decision. And so there's 1 through 13. And so the first one I'm going to go down to, I'm going to skip 1 and 2 for now because that'll kind of go with more legal. But number 3, we present a pattern of physical development planning and intended land uses in the subject area, and including residential, industrial, commercial, agricultural, and institutional land uses, and the impact of the proposed action of those uses. Well, the highlight of that whole sentence is going to be industrial, because that's what's compromising the north part of Castle Rock Township. So city industrial imposing on adjacent residential and ag use is our threat. Number 4, I'm going to skip that. That's more on present transportation network, potential transportation issues. We won't have any of that. Number 5 talks about land use. Next page, land use controls and planning presently being utilized in the subject area, including comprehensive plans, policies of the Metropolitan Council, and whether there's and I have this underlined, inconsistencies between proposed development and existing land use controls. So that is going to consist of our OAA expiring, and the continuation of possibly industrial next to A in the northern part of Castle Rock Township. So I've just noted kind of those 2 things. There may be some other possibilities, but the industrial use is going to be the biggest thing in northern Castle Rock Township. And so that's on the city side, potentially a little with the use of solar farm could be classified as industrial and ag. I don't know how that's going to affect the decision or not. So number 7, existing and potential environmental problems and whether the proposed action is likely to improve or resolve these problems. So our problems are going to be porous, I call them porous borders, and affects the health, safety, and the public's welfare. And the other is we need to protect our only metropolitan stream in the state, if not the nation, as part of some of the existing potential environmental problems. So the biggest thing is affects the health, safety, and the welfare of the public. Number 9, I'm going to skip in number 8. That's just fiscal impact and that type of stuff. Number 9, relationship and effect of the proposed action on affected communities. That's another reason that municipalities incorporate. I'm going to skip 10, 11, and 12. You can kind of go through and just skim on those. I'm going to jump down to 13. Analysis of the applicability of the state building code, down to B there, based upon these factors, the chief administrative law judge may order the incorporation of finding that, and then go down to B1 there. Number 1, the property to be incorporated is now or is about to become urban or suburban in character. Now it says or, I just wrote and because or is going to be in there, but and because we're going to have and. Number 2, that the existing township form of government is not adequate to protect the public health, safety, and welfare. Now it says or again, I just put and because it is going to include again. Number 3, the proposed incorporation would be in the best interest of the area under consideration. So they will use a lot of those situations in the north part of Castle Rock Township. Maybe there'll be other things in Castle Rock Township that we can expand on, but for now it's a big chunk up in the north. Then I jump down to 3C, or did I miss 3 here? 3, the proposed incorporation would be in the best, oh, I did read that, best interest of the area under construction. Okay, and then C, I have the chief administrative law judge may deny the incorporation if the area or part of thereof would be the better served by annexation. So you have to decide, is it better served by annexation to the adjacent municipality? So this is what will be looked at to incorporate. I circled D. I think you can just go through and read. Chief Administrative Law Judge may alter the boundaries of the proposed incorporation by increasing or decreasing the area to be incorporated. So all that can be looked at, through the comp plans, kind of that nature, I think, is what a lot of that's for. I just wrote a couple things that we kind of briefed on in our meetings as primary revenue sources. One is when we're a city, there's local government aid, user fees and charges, special assessments. We don't have a lot of assessments at this point, but I mean, it's just an option that's included. Production taxes, that can be a number of things. TIF, tax increment financing, and other sources. With the League of Cities, if we become a city, or you can actually go on their website, you can start looking in there of the possibilities of different things to become a city as well, kind of like a library in there. And so they have a help guide online. I just wrote either Farmington's going to have our local control of our township. Do we want the city of Farmington to manage our land through annexation, or do we want our community, the city of Castle Rock, to guide and lead this land? I think that's 2 things you can think about. They're not hard questions. And then we as a committee, would like just a little help to maybe get started and what can we do right now that would not cost much just to get the ball rolling. And that's it.
Thank you.
If I can just say, she mentioned boundaries. It did stress in there, the administrative law judge, you understand, with the annexation the way it is, if we become a city, that land is already annexed, but the administrative law judge may say, no, we want this land where the annexation is to go back to Castle Rock. That judge could very well decide that, if that happened. Also, when we spoke to Credit River, they don't have their own fire department or whatever. They said everything stayed pretty much the same. They said we were 3 years ahead of Credit River because Scott County does all the zoning for their townships. So it took them 3 years just to figure out zoning for their township, which we already have done because we do our own zoning in Dakota County. So I advise you all to do a little research if you like.
Excuse me, here's where we are, guys. With our meeting earlier tonight, with this, there's a lot of unknowns, we know that. But we can't wait until the wolf is halfway in the door. We would like to hire Curry and Roop to give us a little bit of leniency of one way or another to help do this. We know no one wants to do this. We know we do not want to pay the money it's going to take to do this. We know our taxes are going to go up no matter which way we go. Becoming a city, not becoming a city, Farmington taking over, everybody knows taxes are going to go up no matter what. They went up this year. So we're asking that we have the right to hire them and allow us some kind of a budget so we can work with him a little bit so that these committees can do some legwork and try to start saving us some money. That's where we're at. Well, we talked about it that day. We came up with a number, and I know I don't like it, I know you guys aren't gonna like it.
That don't sound like it.
Well, it doesn't, because we're spending money tonight that's not in the budget, you know, and Jerry brings up a good point, but we said $5,000. I'm saying we don't have to have that right at the beginning. I think if we got the right to hire a lawyer and he can kind of give us some guidance, I think this group can save the township some money. I also had Nikki put it on the website that if there is anyone out there who wants to volunteer to be on this committee, we sure welcome that. There's lots of things to look into. I mean, like, finding out that we could maybe get some of that land that would be annexed, we could maybe get it back through a judge and stuff and that. You know, there's lots of things we don't know. And since all these becoming a city, not all of them, but most of them, are all done by Curry and Roop, we thought they got a template, just change the names and let's move on. Rather than having someone else doing the research and stuff and that, we figured we could save a lot of money that way.
Would we try to get the 100 petition for 100 or more property owners?
Personally, I'd like to see the board make up their mind and do it. Because, yeah, you can go out, and I know we'll get the number if we want, but we're elected to do the job. That's my opinion. Let's do the job.
My opinion is, you know, Career Up last year told us that at best we had a 50-50 shot at it. And that's not very good odds in my estimation to spend the kind of money that we're going to be spending, which is, it's going to be in excess of $100,000. And we've got already a lawsuit this year that we're trying to figure out how we're going to pay for. And I don't know if now is the exact right time. And I get it, I hear, well, we can't wait, okay? But you can't spend money you don't have. If we just keep spending money and it like this, and all of a sudden the township is you know, only got a couple $100,000 left, what happens if something bad happens in the township? What do we do at that point? I mean, there's so many costs that we don't know. And you know, I've made up a list. I mean, and I'm not trying to be negative on this. I'm just trying to be open-minded and understand it all. You know, what is the cost for criminal prosecution going to be per year? How much is that going to cost us? Do we know that number?
How do you know we have to do criminal prosecution?
Because
We don't have to. We don't have to hire, we still can have a contract with the deputy sheriff.
no, when I'm talking criminal prosecution, when somebody is arrested in the township and now they need to be prosecuted.
Well, you do know, Jerry, that that probably already happens. And you also know that if there's a car fire on Highway 3, because it's in Castle Rock Township, we have to pay for that too.
Okay. The difference is that if somebody gets arrested with a DWI on Highway 3, right now the county takes over the prosecution of that. Once we become a city, we now have to take over the responsibility for that.
So do you have numbers of how much that will cost?
Well, I talked to the attorney, he said, the problem is you have to sit down with the attorney and talk to him and you negotiate a number because they typically bill you by the year.
So
Andrew said anywhere from $50,000 to $75,000 would be my best guess.
So when did you contact the lawyer?
I talked to Andrew a long time ago, we were just asking about that. I think we were sitting up at Farmington, chit-chatting up there. I didn't get anything in writing, it was just a chit-chat conversation and that.
So you don't know for sure?
I don't, but neither does the committee and that.
Well, what I'd like to throw out is.
All right, can I finish?
I was gonna say, let's let him finish what his list.
Okay, I would like to know what expenses the county covers. You know, they do a lot of things for us for free because we're a township and we'll lose those services once we become a city. I think we should find out what those costs would be. We belong to MAP, and that, you know, they charge us X amount a year to belong to MAP, and then what does the League of Minnesota Cities charge? You know, is it an extra $5,000? Is $10,000 more? I mean, we were struggling tonight to figure out if we could come up with $8,000, and then, you know, we're going back and forth on that, right? So now all of a sudden, how much more are we gonna spend with MAP? Second question I would have on that is, what's the cost of our township insurance going to be? Right now, we're insured through MAP. And I'm assuming MAP will no longer insure us if we're not a township anymore. What would that cost be? What if that goes up 5,000, 10,000, 15,000? I don't know what those numbers are, but I think we should know in that, because all these numbers are gonna add together. You know, we get grants for like comp plans and all that. I don't know if cities get those. We should find out that. I heard it stated in a meeting that if we become a city, we're gonna have to establish more parks. Are we or not? I don't think we would, but we should know that. You know, I'm worried about this township of Forest Lake, and we discussed this at the last meeting. You know, they tried to become a city, Township of Forest Lake. And after they attempted and failed, then the judge decided it would be better if they became just part of Forest Lake. So the Township of Forest Lake is gone, does not exist anymore. I'm worried that that could happen to us. You know, I mean, could Farmington, and again, Farmington's not our friend. So if we go to court and we fail, will Farmington be knocking at the door and saying, all right, they just tried to convince a judge that we're growing and we need all this, but they can't do it, so now we can do it for them. It scares me. The residents, you guys would lose the ability to control your tax increases. And that right now, you have the ability to come to an annual meeting and control how much we raise your taxes. If we become a city, you lose that option. You wouldn't have it anymore. You know, we always use Credit River as a comparable. And I just want to state some facts about Credit River. Credit River had the 5th largest township population in Minnesota with strong population growth. They were a huge township in that. They have higher population than 700 existing cities in Minnesota. They have a $4 million operating budget in that. And we're always comparing ourselves to Credit River. I guess I just don't feel we are Credit River. We're a much smaller township, much smaller budgets, and again, I'm just concerned, with this lawsuit that we're in right now with Farmington, that we should get through one lawsuit at a time. That's just my opinion. So that's all I got to say.
Speak now, please.
I think you bring up a lot of good points, and I think instead of trying to solve all them tonight.
I think you're not.
Right, I think the committee should look at all them and give pros and cons to them. I mean, otherwise, we're gonna be here till 10 o'clock.
Right, that's exactly my point.
Hang on, Sandy. Sandy, I gotta keep control.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I thought you were.
No, I think,
Sorry.
I made a list. I got a list of 14 that might be real good for that committee of the township, or the committee for the city to, take a look at some of those pros. It's a great pros and cons list.
So that's where I'm at. So if we can hire the lawyer
Yep.
and give us a budget that we can go through this stuff and start figuring, that's what we want to do, is hire this lawyer so we can go through and do stuff like this. Rather than having him do it.
What do you think? Like $2,500 to get off the ground and look at some of this stuff? I don't know. I'm throwing that out as a suggestion. If all these come back where it's against the
My
township.
opinion, it's a good starting point. If we don't do anything, then at least this way, we're getting knowledge from someone that's gone through it how many times. We know we're gonna be getting the right answers. And then we can be having meetings and going through this stuff and hopefully get stuff done. I agree with you guys. We gotta look into this. No one wants to spend their money, including me, but how do you get started? You know what I'm saying? None of us are lawyers.
Right.
Yeah, no, and I don't have a problem getting legal expert advice. But actually have him look at our township, look at our numbers.
That's what I
look at our
want to do.
growth, look at everything, and then say to him, now be honest with us. Do you really think you're gonna win this case?
That's exactly what I want.
And if he says, no, I think you guys aren't gonna make it, okay, great, that's fine.
Right.
And if he says, no, I think you guys got an excellent shot, but, at that initial meeting, he did say, you got a 50-50 shot, and those aren't very good odds.
Sandy?
Sandy, you're up.
Okay, quickly, Corey and Rupi also said, with the annexation agreement being up in 2030, he said they won't abide by that annexation agreement. They'll take you all the way down to County Road 86. They'll take all of Castle Rock Township. He said annexation agreements really don't mean anything. This is coming from the lawyers. And they also said, yes, Credit River is different than us. I didn't go to the Empire meeting, but Empire, from what the rest of the committee said, pretty much said the same thing as Credit River. You're better off becoming a city. And trust me, because now they can only raise the residents in Farmington's taxes 12%. If it goes over that, they can get a rebate back. We have a business in Farmington. This year it was 17%. They passed the rest of it on to the businesses. 3 years ago it was 33% in 1 year. They will keep raising the taxes. And if you think, yes, if we become a city, our taxes will go up. If we become City of Farmington, our taxes are going to go up even more. And plus, we have no control over anything. I wasn't in favor of becoming a city either until I started to research it. Do your research. That's all we're asking.
That's what we want to do.
I think we're all in agreement that we're going to take a lot of these points that came up and find out some legal advice on it. I think we're all, yeah.
Because the other thing that I think we should run by Corey also, when he's looking at this and saying, giving us advice on how to move forward is, or we better off to take our money and invest it in trying to redo a really good comp plan. That, that's what Eureka's trying to do right now, and I don't know if they'll be successful. But writing a comp plan that maybe could stop some of this.
I've asked that question already. And he said, Mark, why are they doing it all? Everybody's exhausted everything. They don't have another route out except to do this.
Yeah. But if we go before the judge and we fail, then what have we,
I know that.
Then what have we done?
But we could fail, Farmington could take it.
Correct.
I agree. Farmington could wait 2 years and take it. I mean, no matter what, I see Farmington taking it. Unless we get it. One way or another, I see them taking it. Unless, pardon?
Denise had a question.
Okay, Denise.
Well, I just wondered, I hadn't heard anybody talk about if we would need any additional staff, city staff, do we?
Well, I can't find, I think they said that day when we were up there, I think they had 5 staff members. Not staff, it was for plowing roads and stuff like that. They have 5 people.
Don't you have to have somebody that's gonna manage, a city manager?
They do have one. They
So
have,
would we have to hire one? That's what I'm saying, would we have to hire one also?
both the cities and that we've seen, they said most likely you'd have to hire a different lawyer and a different planner.
I lived in the city of Mendota, not Mendota Heights, no, Mendota. And when I lived in the city of Mendota, I was on the city council. We did not have a city manager or anything. We had nothing more than we have here. We had a mayor and we had 4 council members.
That's what Credit River had. They had a mayor and a couple of council members and a planning commission, just like we do right now.
Well, I kind of see having some type of administrator or manager would be a big benefit for us. I mean, yes, more money.
Yep.
But it seems like, not to be critical or anything, it seems like things slip through cracks, you have to think about everything, and we're human, we're not going to, but if somebody, that's their job, then hopefully they would.
Well, I think this is the first step, and that's something to work towards through the process. But I think just getting the basics down, if we have a mayor and 4 councilmen or whatever, let's get that done first. And then as you start growing or whatever, then start looking at those other positions that you might need as you grow. I mean, you just have to, don't want to put the cart before the horse, but just kind of go through the process.
You want a motion?
I was going to say,
Gary's got a question.
Gary,
Yeah, you've been talking a little bit, you're worried about going over budget, you went over budget, you're talking about 5,000, you might be over the budget. I think if I remember right at the annual meeting, we set some kind of a guide as to what it would be, but it was left that the board has a decision in August or September to change that number. And if it turns out that you have to raise it because unexpected costs have come up, you have that option
We can't go over the 30 that,
That was a max?
right, once the residents give us a number, we cannot exceed it, we can only lower it.
We can lower it.
I misunderstood.
Yeah, we can't exceed the 30.
Yeah.
I believe at the last meeting, I brought in something that said that you can revisit it, and because you closed the annual meeting, you could still call a special meeting if you needed to, having something to do with the levy. I gave you that paperwork, I believe. I gave you that paperwork. If not, I'll have to look it up again, I'll bring it in.
I know Mike Slaw brought that up, and he said no, because we closed our meeting, he said we were done now.
But it says, Minnesota State statute says, you can call a special meeting regarding that. If something happens, there is always a loophole in any law. I took business law twice, and the lawyers said they always, when they make a law, they always make at least 3 loopholes to give the lawyers something to do.
Okay, let's move on here. I'm looking for some kind of a motion.
Brian wants to make the motion to invest the 2,500 to Curry and Rupee to answer the questions about becoming a city that Jerry provided, or somebody provided.
I think we all maybe could group some questions together and have Nikki compile them all.
We have a motion on the table, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Pete. Hold it, I gotta add something. So we are hiring, we're gonna get a contract with them then, right?
Better get that first.
I was gonna say, otherwise we're still no place.
You each find out what they're gonna charge us per hour.
Good. When we had that, here it was $285, but we can find out.
When he was here,
When he was here, yes.
but that was last year, so.
Yeah, well, that was $285, that's what he charged.
Yeah.
You know, I guess we can have him send a contract and then go from there.
Or maybe, instead of doing the 2,500, what if we did this? I'm just throwing this out here. What if we made a motion to say, let's contact him and find out what he feels because what if he could do it for 1,500? So why don't we maybe ask him to say, can you give us a proposal on what you would charge to just overview the township and then give us a more definite answer whether you think we can succeed or not? What would we ask him for, like a quote on what he would charge us? What are your thoughts? Because what if he comes back and says, I do it for $2,000, I hate to give him 2,500.
No. The 2,500 is, that's if we would need to spend it.
I don't think that's what we're looking for.
No, that's not what we're looking to spend. If we can do it for 15,
Yeah.
I'd sure do it for 15.
Well, that's what
in
you-
my mind, it's up to 2,500.
That's where I am, too.
No, that's
Not
not.
that you're gonna automatically
Sure.
send a check for 2,500.
Either way, I don't have a real problem with getting the information because without some factual information,
We have nothing.
we got nothing. It'd be I could not make a decision.
So you got 2 motions on the table.
Well, I don't know that I necessarily made a motion. I just was asking if we want to modify it.
You and
And
he
it's spelled
seconded.
out, so.
So are we gonna redo the motion so we can get him hired? Let's put it that way.
I think it was just to approve the money for it.
Okay, we can do that and then do it the other way.
That's what,
Let's do that. So we were approved for 25, excuse me, up to $2,500. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Now, as far as hiring him, I'm gonna make the motion that we hire Curry Group
for ours.
to look into this. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it sounds like he's the most knowledgeable on it, so.
Brian will second that motion, Jalen.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries. Okay. I had Nikki put these dates together. We've got too many months where we're not looking at the ordinance. We gotta start something. And I thought since